Hello everyone. I welcome you all to my YouTube channel. I am Virupakshi Patil, working as assistant professor in Government Postgrad College, Hukeri. If you are not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do subscribe. In this video, I am going to discuss some situations leading to refund claims. In my previous videos, I have given brief idea about export of goods or services and situation that leads to claim refund in case of supplies to Sage units and Sage developers that I covered in lecture 2 of my previous video, and inverted duty structure that I covered in lecture 3 of my previous video. In this video, I am going to cover refund in case of deemed exports. As you all know, what is export? Export of goods means taking goods outside India. That means goods leave the country. In GST, all the exports are treated as zero duty supply. Then what is deemed exports? Deemed exports refers to those transactions in which the goods supplied do not leave the country and the payment for such supplies is received in Indian rupee. In case of exports, goods leave the country, but in case of deemed exports, goods do not leave the country. That means such supplies means the supplies which are treated as exports, even the goods are not taken outside India. Section 239 of CGST Act defines deemed export. Deemed export means such supplies of goods as may be notified under section 147. Means the supply of goods which are notified by the government under section 147 are treated as deemed export. Notification number 48 of 2017 has notified the following supply of goods as deemed exports. Supply of goods by a registered person against advance authorization, that is A. Supply of capital goods by a registered person against export promotion capital goods authorization, that is EPCGA. Supply of goods by registered person to export oriented unit, EOU. And supply of goods by bank or public sector undertaking against A, advance authorization. That means if a registered person is supplying goods to advance authorization or to a export promotion capital goods authorization or to export oriented unit, then that supply is called deemed exports. Let me explain this with an example. Let's take Mr. A supplies goods to Mr. B. Mr. A, as you know, is a supplier. Mr. B, recipient. If recipient is A or EPCGA or EOU, then the supply made by Mr. A is treated as deemed export. Means if Mr. B is AO or if he is a EPGA or if he is EOU, then that supply is treated as deemed export. Deemed export. There are some conditions to treat this kind of supply as deemed export. Conditions are the supply of goods should be these recipients. Means the recipient should be advance authorization or EPCGA or EOU, and applicable only for supply of goods. This is applicable only for supply of goods, means supplier should supply goods only to these recipients. If he supplies services, then it is not called as deemed export. Then it is not called as deemed export. And the goods are not taken outside India. So these recipients are in India. If the goods are not taken outside India, if they are taken outside India, then it is not called as deemed export. And the supply of goods must be notified by the government. That must be notified by the government according to section 147. According to section 147. Goods must be manufactured in India. The supplier who is supplying goods to these recipients, that those goods must be manufactured in India. And the payment can be received in Indian rupees. The supplier supplies goods to these recipient, and the amount of value of goods is received in Indian rupees only. And supply cannot be made under bond or LOU. Means the supplier cannot supply under bond or LOU, letter of undertaking, and the tax must be paid at the time of supply. So that is the reason the deemed export is not treated as zero rated supply. If on deemed export, GST is levied and the tax must be paid at the time of supply. Let me take here Mr. A is supplying goods to Mr. B. Mr. B is a advance authorization, and Mr. A is supplying on payment of GST. The value of supply is 2 lakh at 18% GST, that comes 36,000. This 36,000 is input tax to Mr. B. Then who can claim refund here and what can claim refund here? Recipient or supplier? Usually recipient claim the refund of the tax paid, that input tax 36,000. He can claim refund, but he cannot avail ITC. So means the recipient cannot avail ITC of this 36,000, but he can claim refund. The supplier can also claim refund if the recipient does not avail ITC on such supply and furnish the undertaking to the effect that the supplier may claim refund. That means if recipient has not claimed refund and he has to give an acknowledgement to supplier, that acknowledgement helps the supplier to claim refund. Okay, in case of deemed export, supplier or recipient can claim refund. The recipient cannot avail ITC, but he can claim refund of input tax. If he has not claimed refund of input tax, then he has to give an acknowledgement to supplier. So that acknowledgement help the supplier to claim refund of this tax. So that is in case of deemed export. And here another case is refund of tax wrongly collected and paid to the government. That is nothing but payment of wrong tax. Means if the supplier collected IGST instead of CGST plus SGST, or CGST plus SGST instead of IGST. This is because of incorrect application of place of supply provisions. If a registered person supplies goods to and he incorrectly apply the place of supply provisions, that leads to payment collection of wrong tax and paid to the government. Let's explain this with an example. Mr. A supplies goods to Mr. B. Suppose Mr. A he has business in Belagavi and Mr. B has business in Mumbai. So supply between A and B, that is from Belagavi to Mumbai, is interstate. And what can be levied? IGST. The value is take 2 lakh. If Mr. A levied CGST plus SGST instead of IGST, CGST and SGST instead of IGST, say that for example 18% is GST rate, so on 2 lakh 18% means 36,000, so that come 18,000 plus 18,000. 18,000 CGST, 18,000 SGST. So total 36,000. So this for Mr. B input tax. That input tax in the form of CGST and SGST. Mr. A is in Belagavi, Mumbai. This is interstate supply. IGST is levied, but Mr. A is levying CGST and SGST. This is wrong collection of tax. He has to collect IGST from Mr. B, but here Mr. A is collecting CGST and SGST. He is collecting CGST and SGST instead of IGST. And what is the matter of refund here? Take for example, Mr. B supplies same goods to Mr. C. Same goods to Mr. C. So if he is in Pune and Mumbai it is intrastate, then CGST and SGST is levied. So that comes 2,50,000. 2,50,000. So on that, say for example 18% GST. So on lakh 45,000 means CGST 22,500 and SGST 22,500. So that is a tax. He has collected correctly. Means the place of supplier is Mumbai and the place of recipient is Pune. Both are in the same state. Then intrastate CGST and SGST is levied. So he is collecting CGST and SGST. Is correct collection of tax. And he has to pay to the government 22,500 and 22,500. If he has paid 22,500 and 22,500, he can claim input tax of 36,000. But this 36,000 is treated as CGST and SGST instead of IGST. So if it is collected wrongly and paid to the government And if there is any excess amount available or unutilized due to this unutilized ITC, due to this any unutilized ITC can claim refund, okay. So if a registered supplier is wrongly collecting tax, means charging IGST instead of CGST and SGST, or collecting CGST or SGST instead of IGST, this will affect on availing input tax credit. So due to that, there can be an unutilized input tax credit. So that unutilized input tax credit can claim a refund by the registered person. Okay, this is a case of refund of tax wrongly collected paid to the government. And this wrongly collected and paid to the government, this, that is IGST instead of CGST and SGST, is due to incorrect application of place of supply. That is incorrect application here. Mr. A to Mr. B. The place of supplier is Belagavi, but place of recipient is Mumbai. It is interstate. But if Mr. A incorrectly apply the place of supply provision, so then he treats it as intrastate supply. So that is the reason this happens. So in that case, if there is any unutilized ITC, that can claim refund